Continuing from the previous episode 705. Let's go, Xiao Yan said to Mu Feng, Mu Yingying and Ludi behind him. As for Xiao Yi, she was not allowed to enter. After all, Xiao Yi had a special identity as a fire elf. Xiao Yan, let's go first. Qin Xin and the others finished speaking and walked directly towards the stone room. Let's go. Seeing this, Xiao Yan whispered to the people around him. As soon as the words fell, several people started to act at the same time. Obviously, these people are looking forward to this time to cultivate Dongtian. Mu Feng, green flute, wait a second. Just as he entered the stone room, Xiao Yan spoke slowly to the two of them. Mu Feng and LVDI were stunned for a moment, then looked at Xiao Yan. Holding this thing will help a lot for the two of you to overcome the calamity. Xiao Yan said something to the two of them, and then something flashed in his hand, and without hesitation, he went to the two of them. No thanks for the great kindness. Mu Feng felt the mysterious object exuding dazzling power in his hand, and immediately cast a grateful look at Xiao Yan. You can leave now. After doing all this, Xiao Yan took the lead and walked straight away. Xiao Yan, it's such a great favor. If you need it in the future, you can take this life. Mu Feng's heart suddenly changed, and he followed suit. Lu Di's mood at this time was similar to Mu Feng's. After the matter was over, the four of them turned their attention to this stone room. From the outside, this stone room looks very ordinary, without any sparkle, but since Xiao Yan entered the inside, he felt the mystery of this cultivation cave. What should I say? Xiao Yan's current strength has reached the level of the late 6-star Do Emperor, and his soul power has also reached the level of a second-grade Emperor-level pharmacist, but there is something in the depths of this stone room that makes Xiao Yan feel terrified. The surrounding walls are extremely gloomy. It seems that this is just a passageway. The purpose of this passageway should be to cover up what's inside. Mu Feng thought for a while and said, for these things, Mu Feng, who is good at the technique of 5 elements and 8 trigrams, quite proud. Don't waste time, let's go. Cultivation cave is at the exit of the passage. Just when Xiao Yan and the others were still wondering, a young and old voice suddenly came from outside. Let's go. Hearing the voice of the old man, the four of them looked at each other, their speed increased sharply, and they headed towards the exit. The Burning Incense Pavilion is located on the top of Mount Hua. The top of Huishan Mountain is protected by a powerful formation of the Burning Heaven territory, and the Burning Incense Pavilion is deep within it. The reason why Fenxiang Pavilion is loved by so many Xuanxian people is because of the 3 extremely powerful fighting skills in the 3 halls of heaven, earth and Ren in Fenxiang Pavilion. Many sects and even empires regard high-level fighting skills as treasures, and they will not easily show it to others, let alone let others practice it, but the Burning Incense Pavilion is different. As long as you officially join the Burning Incense Pavilion, no matter how talented you are, you will have a chance to realize it. If it succeeds, then the profound fighting skills can be easily learned. If it fails, one can also learn a lot in the atmosphere of Burning Incense Pavilion. In addition, it is the so-called Cultivation Cave. It can be said unceremoniously that among the numerous sects in the entire Xuanzan 3 days, Fenxiang Pavilion is the only one with such a large hand in this cultivation cave. After all, it is quite difficult to open up this cultivation cave. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang Wu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Coem. However, no one can clearly say what the specific cultivation of the cave looks like, but there is no doubt that this cultivation cave can help people break through the current bottleneck is true. This is. Xiao Yan and his party slowly came to the end, and suddenly found a bottomless huge river appearing in everyone's heart. Tongtian? Seeing this, Mu Feng suddenly exclaimed, and then a fiery look appeared in his eyes. Tongtian? Mu Yingying's eyes wrinkled slightly when she heard the words, and there was a hint of doubt in those eyes. Everyone had just left the exit of the stone room at this time, and when they looked around, they saw a bottomless river flowing slowly through the sky. And in the river that connects the sky, a mysterious power shakes Mu Yingying's heart at any moment. Is this the so-called Tongtian? Xiao Yan murmured in a low voice. The huge soul power and spirit instantly unfolded, trying to investigate 1 or 2. But in the next moment, Xiao Yan shook his head and said, forget it, this Tongtian probably has a very strong restriction, so I am wasting my efforts. Where is there a step? Go take a look. In the next instant, Mu Feng raised his finger and pointed to a place. Let's go. Xiao Yan took the brunt of the brunt and started walking. The four walked up the steps, step by step. At that time, the whole picture of Tianhe River was in full view. That is a huge turbulent Tianhe. Compared with the Xuanling Emperor Pond that Xiao Yan had seen before, it was undoubtedly enlarged countless times. Why is there a pavilion here? It's obviously not right. Mu Yingying's eyes turned slightly, as if she had discovered something. If expected, this should be the entrance to the cultivation cave. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Hee, you little guys are really making people wait. Xiao Yan's voices just fell, and suddenly a rather rounded man slowly appeared. Deputy Hall Master Shang Yuan? Xiao Yan was a little surprised when he saw this. How could this dignified Deputy Hall Master of Shang Yuan be reduced to doing such a thing? Don't look at me, the people guarding Tongtian have something to do, so I'm just on duty in place of others. Shang Yuan said with a smile as if he had noticed Xiao Yan's doubts. I don't know what connection this Tongtian has with Cultivation Cave. Xiao Yan said to Shang Jun, his voice full of doubts. Just now, Zhu Yuan and the others in the local team clearly knew it, but because of the bad relationship, Xiao Yan naturally wouldn't ask, but it's different now. If he didn't ask clearly, he would be confused. Tongtian is a cultivation cave, and cultivation cave is Tongtian. If you want to enter Tongtian, just jump from here. Shang Yuan still said with a smile, but his eyes kept staring at Xiao Yan. Jump down directly? Mu Feng asked, scratching his head when he heard the words. Just kidding. This pavilion is at the highest point of the Tongtian River. If you jump down like this, I'm afraid that there will be no residue left by the terrifying power of the Tongtian River. Haha, if you want to enter Tongtian to practice, there is one more thing. Shang Jun saw that Mu Feng was in a hurry, so he didn't give a asterisk and spoke directly. What else is there? Green Flute also gathered around at this time. Green Flute was also looking forward to this cultivation cave. After all, there was the mysterious thing Xiao Yan gave him, so it shouldn't be difficult to break through the 6-star Do Emperor. It's easy to say. That is, choice. Cultivation caves exist in the Tongtian River, but cultivation caves are divided into 1 to 9 levels. You can only enter if you make a choice. But I have to remind you in advance, think twice about everything. The speed of the 9th level cultivation cave is indeed stronger than the 8th level, but the pressure to be endured in the 9th level cultivation cave cannot be underestimated. A careless, and even become an idiot. That's all I have to say. How do you choose? Next, after Shang Yuan finished speaking, the 4 little guys in front of the interested old man. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 706. I don't know the Deputy Hall Master Shang Yuan. What is the difference between the 1st and the 9th level of cultivation? After thinking for a while with many questions, Xiao Yan decided to ask. Still confused. There is indeed a gap between the 1st to 9th levels of cultivation, but logically speaking, these things cannot be told to others, but if you are a kid, I will break your precepts for you once. Listen, if you compare this cultivation cave to an ordinary Do Emperor, the 1st level cultivation cave is the most suitable for the cultivation of a 1-star Do Emperor, the 2nd level is suitable for a 2-star Do Emperor, and so on. The Emperor's energy in the cultivation cave is countless times stronger than the outside world, but each person can only absorb it once, which makes it precious. However, if you want to use the strength of a 1-star Do D to go to the 2nd level cultivation cave, it's not a bad idea, but at that time the pressure was much stronger than the average person. So I don't mind that you enter the high-level cultivation cave, and you have to do everything according to your ability. Shang Yuan said, and the so-called cultivation cave, to put it more informally, is the concentration of the Emperor's Qi. Cultivation caves are all condensed by the strength of our pavilion Master Dushan, and the dazzling Emperor energy is condensed together and has great potential. Shang Yuan continued, is it no problem to enter the 6th level cultivation cave after passing the 6-star Do D life calamity? Mu Feng cast a glance at Shang Yuan and said slightly, of course there is no problem. Although it may be dangerous, it is not a big problem. Shang Yuan smiled. If Mu Feng and Ludi entered the 6th level cultivation cave, it could be considered to lighten some of the burden for himself. Otherwise, if something happened, Mu Shuji would not be able to spare him. Is there a strength limit? I don't remember saying that all the cultivation caves from the 1st to the 9th level are open? Xiao Yan said, the 1st to 9th levels are indeed all open, but in order to reduce the danger. If you insist on entering the highest level cultivation cave, then the pressure will limit you to practice for a few days. Wouldn't it be a pity to miss such a good opportunity? Shang Yuan thought to himself, Xiao Yan, this troublesome boy. Then what if I want to enter the 9th level cultivation cave? The next moment, Xiao Yan said, 9th level cultivation cave? As soon as Xiao Yan's words came out, the people next to him were immediately shocked. The 9th level cultivation cave is a place comparable to that of some Fenxiang Pavilion elders to enter. Although it has a strong emperor energy, the pressure it needs to face is also huge. This Xiao Yan actually wanted to rely on the late 6-star Dou Emperor. It is too much to enter the strength. No, Shang Yuan refused without thinking. What I was most afraid of was that Xiao Yan insisted on entering the 9th level cultivation cave. Why not? Xiao Yan immediately asked in doubt when he heard that Shang Yuan refused directly. The pressure to bear in the 9th level cultivation cave is too great. You can choose to enter the 8th level cultivation cave. Believe me, the benefits you will get will definitely be unimaginable. Shang Yuan said, which level of cultivation cave did Zhu Yuan enter in the Hall of Earth? Xiao Yan suddenly remembered something and said, 8th grade. Zhu Yuan, Lingxuan and Qinxin all entered the 8th level, while the others entered the 7th level. Shang Yuan responded, 8th grade, then I'll go to the 9th level. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, his eyes suddenly softened. What a stubborn boy, do as you like. Seeing that he had no hope of competing, Shang Yuan immediately stopped talking to Xiao Yan. Which level of cultivation cave do you want to enter? Shang Yuan set his eyes on Mu Yingying again. At this time, the 4 of them, but Mu Yingying, had not yet given a clear answer. 9th level, Mu Yingying said in a hurry when she saw Shang Yuan staring at her. Okay, have courage. Shang Yuan didn't stop him when he heard the words. After all, even Mu Shunji had said some secrets that could not be seen through Mu Yingying. Since you've made up your own mind, let's go down. After Shang Yuan finished speaking, he suddenly waved his hand, and an incomparably huge energy emerged directly. As soon as the energy emerged, it blew Xiao Yan and the others away, and the next moment Xiao Yan and the others appeared in the Tianhe River. Wow! In the Tianhe River, the giant waves of golden hunger slapped one after another. If Xiao Yan and the others didn't use their fighting qi to protect their bodies, I'm afraid this terrifying giant wave could directly tear them apart. Is this the cultivation cave? The Emperor Qi in this Tianhe River is much stronger than the outside world. If you cultivate here, I'm afraid that you can improve your first level strength in just a few months. Xiao Yan thought to himself. Separate, pay attention to safety. Xiao Yan said, and suddenly the speed increased sharply, heading towards the top of the Tianhe River. The 9th level cultivation cave is undoubtedly the most powerful, but the pressure that needs to be faced should not be underestimated. The Tianhe River is extremely turbulent, and the incomparably huge water currents are all condensed from the purest emperor energy. Such a huge handwriting, I am afraid that it must be a strong fighting immortal. Moreover, Xiao Yan found that there was a trace of life and death power in this emperor's qi. No wonder the rumors are spreading. It turned out to be a force formed by compressing the power of life and death and the power of the emperor. No wonder it makes my strength aching, and I feel like it has been enhanced by 9. Xiao Yan said to himself. Boom boom boom. The Tianhe River was surging, and the water currents condensed by the emperor's qi kept rolling. The momentum was much stronger than the real river. Xiao Yan also nodded secretly, facing the pressure of extremely scars. Towards the top of the Tianhe River. At this time, in the pavilion, in addition to Shang Yuan, 2 other old men appeared here at the same time. Old Zhu, you really miss your precious apprentice. Shang Yuan said slightly, how about that? This kid is the first kid I have met who has a talent for spiritual powers since the establishment of the Fenxiang Pavilion. This kid will inherit my mantle in the future. You 2 guys, don't be mean. Zhu Lao smiled slightly. Hee, this kind of seedling will naturally not compete with Zhu Lao, but I am also a little curious. The flame in this boy seems to be very unusual. Qing Lao also appeared here and said, his flame is the holy flame, the one in the desert mountain range. Zhu Lao heard the words and said neither plainly nor lightly. What? As soon as these words came out, both Shang Yuan and Qing Lao's eyes became dull. Holy flame, this is the most powerful fire attribute, no one Even if Xiao Yan's strength is not enough now, and he cannot exert the true power of the holy flame, he can still defeat the vast majority of people with the power of the holy flame. And this kid's soul power should also be an alchemist who has stepped into the second-rank emperor rank, let alone my spiritual power. After Zhu Lao finished speaking, he suddenly laughed. Damn, what a freak. Shang Yuan scolded secretly when he heard the words. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Yu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS. Koem. If it was said that the powerful 6-star Do Di could not impress them in the late stage, then the word, Sacred Yan, was enough to make them look at Xiao Yan with admiration, not to mention a second-rank emperor alchemist. The alchemist of the second rank of the emperor may also be regarded as a guest in the entire burning incense pavilion. It seems that this Xiao Yan is a bit incredible. The old man suddenly had a surprised look at Xiao Yan. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 707. Above the pavilion in the Tianhe River, the three elders of Zhu Lao stood slowly. Although the opening of the cultivation hole was a bit hasty this time, it was mainly for the strength of these little guys. I just don't know what would happen. It's not so easy to cultivate in the cave at the 9th level. Qing Lao was still a little worried in his heart. I don't know how many days Xiao Yan can last. The longer you persist in cultivating Dongtian, the more you will improve yourself. But if you are a 9th level practitioner, I'm afraid. Shang Yuan said. Obviously he was not optimistic about Xiao Yan entering the 9th level training hole. Don't say that Shang Yuan is not optimistic. Even if Shang Yuan is allowed to enter the 9th level cultivation cave by himself, I am afraid that he will not be able to last for 10 days. I remember that the last few people who entered the 9th level cultivation cave last time only stayed for 5 days at most. The old man spoke slowly. I hope this little guy has something to rely on, otherwise entering the 9th level to cultivate in the cave is just a waste of your time. Although Elder Zhu said that Xiao Yan has a lot of secrets, this is Tungtian after all, and Xiao Yan joined it. It is still the most powerful 9th level cultivation cave, so the young and old do not really believe how long Xiao Yan can last. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Yu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem. This heavenly emperor Qi is getting rarer and rarer. The next time the pavilion master comes back, he must let him replenish it himself, otherwise it will be exhausted in a short time. Elder Zhu said slowly. Hey, it's the two of you here. Shang Yuan smiled slowly. Let's go, it's time for these little guys next, and we should prepare for the ruins half a year away. After all, that kind of opportunity is rare. Elder Zhu said. The old and young people heard the words, nodded solemnly, and immediately left here. Boom boom boom. His grandma's. In the Tianhe River, although Xiao Yan's body was covered by Do Qi and was not wetted by the water flow of Tianhe River, Xiao Yan found out. This 9th level cultivation cave is at the top of the Tianhe River, but every time he takes a step, the pressure becomes stronger. The oppressive force was invisible and colorless, but every time Xiao Yan took a step, he suddenly felt that the huge water in the Tianhe River suppressed his breathing and slowed down. Walking to the top of the Tianhe River corresponding to the 7th level cultivation cave, Xiao Yan felt a great pressure. It seems that guy didn't lie. Although this 9th level cultivation cave is powerful, the pressure is too terrifying, right? There is such a huge amount of pressure in the 7th level cultivation of Dongtian, then if the 9th level. Xiao Yan gritted his teeth and said stubbornly. There is another way of saying the breath in the Tianhe River. Heavenly Emperor Qi. As the name suggests, it is the Emperor Qi that exists in the Tianhe River. But this kind of Emperor Qi is different from other Emperor Qi. There is a lot of power of life and death in this Emperor Qi. Coupled with the transformation of countless days and nights, this Emperor Qi has finally formed. Heavenly Emperor Qi has indescribable benefits to the powerhouses below the 8-star Do Emperor. As long as the disciples who can enter the advanced cultivation cave to accept the quenching of Tungtian Emperor Qi, their strength will be greatly improved, and because there is a trace of life and death in this Tungtian Emperor Qi, they will condense the power of death and the relationship between life and death in the future. When it melted, it undoubtedly laid the groundwork. Asshole! The power of holy flame, give it to me. The next moment, Xiao Yan couldn't care too much. The power of holy flame emerged directly, and then the speed increased sharply, heading towards the top of the Tungtian River. With Sheng Yan's attack, Xiaoyan suddenly felt the pressure greatly reduced, but he did not take it lightly. Boom boom boom! In the Tianhe River, the energy with the fierce fighting spirit was scattered everywhere. In every energy, there will be a fascinating power. If you absorb these rich heavenly emperor qi, I don't know if you will be able to step into the level of 6-star Do Emperor consummation. Xiaoyan murmured in a low voice. Although Do Emperors require incomparably huge power at each rank, Xiaoyan believes that the heaven-reaching Emperor Qi in the Tianhe River is enough. Let's go ahead and talk about it. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaoyan's eyes flickered with a hint of doubt, and then his figure increased sharply, and he went directly to Tianhe River. Shabu shabu, someone actually wants to enter the 9th level cultivation cave? Don't die? Zhu Yuan said to himself, staring at the figure wrapped in dazzling flames in the lower section of Tianhe River, where he was a little bit of the 8th level cultivation cave. 9th level cultivation cave? Is it crazy? Ling Zan also found out that someone was trying to enter the 9th level cultivation cave, and was immediately surprised. Ling Zan and Zhu Yuan also have the qualifications and strength to enter the 9th level cultivation cave, but both of them know that although the 9th level cultivation cave is good, the current strength of the two may not be able to hold on for a day, so retreat and choose the 8th level cultivation cave. What? Xiaoyan stared at the pressure of the extremely scarred, and instantly came to the 8th level cultivation cave, but at this time Xiaoyan realized that no matter what he did, he couldn't move forward. Shabu shabu. The next moment, Xiaoyan's huge soul power surged out instantly, and probed the place in front of him where he couldn't move forward. Is it an enchantment? In just a short moment, Xiaoyan knew the mystery here, and immediately opened his mouth slightly. Let me come. Just when Xiaoyan was puzzled, Mu Yingying slowly stepped forward and whispered something. When Xiaoyan heard the words, he cast a glance at Mu Yingying, did not say anything, and retreated a path. Boom boom boom! Mu Yingying's whole body suddenly appeared blue holy flame, and then her jade finger flicked at the mysterious barrier, and suddenly the invisible barrier clicked, revealing a gap. Come in! Mu Yingying murmured softly and then swept in directly. Okay. Xiaoyan agreed, then without hesitation, he went straight inside. Is it a self-contained space in Tianhe Hanoi? It's really a mysterious space. Xiaoyan just entered the 9th level cultivation cave, which is the top of the Tianhe River, and suddenly said, Mu Yingying? The next moment, Xiaoyan turned his head and asked, Where's the person? He called out without seeing or hearing Mu Yingying's voice. Xiaoyan suddenly became vigilant, and the huge soul force also twitched instantly. It seems that they should be separated. But these are fine. Shaking his head, Xiaoyan spoke slowly. Next, it's time to absorb Tianhe Emperor Qi. Xiaoyan said with a smile. Just after entering this 9th level cultivation cave, Xiaoyan suddenly felt that an invisible terrifying force had emerged, and this force had emerged, making the exercises in his body rather greedy. This is a huge space, boundless as far as the eye can see, and what it has are only countless stormy waves. But in the stormy waves, Xiaoyan vaguely discovered that there seems to be other powerful forces in it, and in the stormy waves, there are still other powerful forces. Mixed with a hint of strange color. That is, Tianhe Emperor Qi. Xiaoyan finished speaking, and now it has become hot, and even the exercises in the body have become hot. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 708. At the top of the Tianhe River, the 9th level cultivation cave is located. Xiaoyan had just entered here, and suddenly realized that it was different from other places. From the outside, the Tianhe River is a river from the earth to the sky, but the top of the Tianhe River is different. Here, there are only continuous stormy waves, and that sound slaps out, containing extremely huge and strange power, shocking people's hearts. This top cultivation cave really deserves its reputation. Xiaoyan said with a slight smile. Even if he just glanced at it, he knew it was extraordinary. Xiaoyan just came here, and Xiaoyan also discovered the unusualness of this place. After all, he just came here to absorb a few breaths of the Tianhe River, and the Do Qi in his body actually felt like it was just about to move. This is Tianhe Emperor Qi, but how do you absorb this thing? The next moment, Xiaoyan suddenly became serious, because from the first glance, it seemed that Tianhe was not that easy to deal with. Shabu shabu. Just as Xiaoyan was thinking, the Tianhe River, which was constantly stirring up the stormy waves below, suddenly scattered a stream of water, and then the speed exploded. "Xiao Yan is here, bastard." Seeing this, Xiao Yan hurriedly startled, his eyes changed slightly. This Tianhe actually possesses a not weak intelligence, the strength of such an attack. I am afraid that an ordinary 6-star Do-D can possess it. However, Xiao Yan was not a hesitant either, his figure swept up directly, and then suddenly the ancient ruler of different fire appeared in his hand, and the dazzling holy flame on his body appeared on the ancient ruler of different fire at the same time. At that time, an incomparably hot flame appeared. The water column scattered from Tianhe River turned into a snakehead and roared towards Xiao Yan hideously. Even though Xiao Yan was possessed by flames now, he still did not make that snake-headed water column take half a step back. Boom, boom, boom. The next moment, Xiao Yan's hand suddenly swung the ancient ruler of different fires to him. The two just touched each other, and the violent ripples melted away in circles. It seems that it is not so easy to cultivate Dongtian at the 9th level. Xiao Yan stared sharply at Dongtian under his feet, slightly vigilant. Out of intuition, Xiao Yan knew that the Dongtian River under his feet was definitely not ordinary. Otherwise, why didn't he have any reaction when he first entered the top of the Dongtian River, and once he got close to it, it would attack him? Cough, cough. Xiao Yan took a few steps back, and immediately saw the golden Dongtian River in front of the vigilant old man. Xinyan 81 Zhang Wian Wang Wu, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS, Koem. The attack just now came too suddenly, leaving Xiao Yan without any preparation, but Rao's many years of combat experience allowed Xiao Yan to respond. The next moment, Xiao Yan's eyes flickered for a moment, and then he shot directly at Dongtian River. Crash! It seemed that he sensed the arrival of an uninvited guest. This time, as many as 10 water columns were shot directly from the golden Dongtian River. And the power contained in those 10 water columns, the strength of just one water column has reached the level of a 7-star fighting emperor. Damn it! Seeing this, Xiao Yan hurriedly nodded, cursed secretly, and then turned around without looking back. Because of such a terrifying attack, just one attack was enough to make Xiao Yan's scalp tingle, not to mention as many as 10. At that time, a rather funny scene appeared here. Xiao Yan fled quickly, and behind Xiao Yan, 10 golden energy water columns chased away. It should be a safe distance from here. After running for a while, and having some distance from Dongtian River, Xiao Yan stopped talking to himself. As soon as Xiao Yan finished speaking, the 10 golden yellow energy water columns suddenly quieted down. As if they had lost their target, they gave up chasing Xiao Yan and returned to Dongtian River. It seems that my guess is correct. Although Dongtian Emperor Qi in this 9th level cultivation cave is extremely bright, but with the protection of Dongtian River, I'm afraid it won't be easy to succeed. And the closer it is to the Dongtian River, the closer it is to the Dongtian Emperor Qi, the stronger the attack of the Dongtian River. I just went to a place that is still a few dozen meters away from the Heavenly Emperor Qi, and its attack strength has reached the level of the 7-star Do Emperor. If it is close to the Heavenly Emperor Qi, I am afraid that only a powerful 9-star Do Emperor can. Xiao Yan stopped. Footsteps, eyes squinting slightly staring at Dongtian not far away. At this time, in the Dongtian River, the outermost area is the golden yellow river water, and in the center of the river, a dark red liquid that is extremely bright flows slowly. Then, it is the most intense heaven-reaching Emperor Qi. Xiao Yan could feel that if he devoured that cloud of Heavenly Emperor Qi, it would not be difficult to break through to the 6-star Do Emperor consummation. This Heavenly Emperor Qi has actually become so concentrated that it liquefies the substance. It's really a treasure. Xiao Yan laughed, and then it seemed as if he had thought of something. I don't know if this is possible. The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth showed a charming arc, and then his eyes showed a hint of ill will as he looked at Dongtian. Dongtian River is still flowing on its own. Unless someone enters its attack range, it will not take the initiative to attack others. Soul's Wrath. A soft snort then slowly sounded from Xiao Yan's mouth regardless of whether he was busy or not. Crash! As Xiao Yan's dazzling soul power rushed towards Dongtian, the Dongtian suddenly made a trembling sound. It's now. Xiao Yan saw the opportunity, and when Dongtian was busy dealing with soul power, he shot out with speed, and immediately grabbed at the dazzling dark red Dongtian Emperor Qi in Dongtian. Hoo hoo! Tungtian let out an angry voice, but because of Xiao Yan's soul attack, he had to be busy dealing with the soul attack. Come here. Seeing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but smile. Sure enough, soul power is the nemesis of many things, and Tungtian is no exception. Boom boom boom! Xiao Yan's palm contained an extremely huge power of holy flame, and then directly through the defense of Tungtian suddenly hit the dark red liquid. Ooh! Xiao Yan just came into contact with the dark red liquid, and the Tungtian suddenly let out a scream, extremely sad. Come out for labor and capital. Seeing that the dark red liquid didn't want to come out, Xiao Yan suddenly hummed, trying hard. Plop! At that time, the dark red liquid in the Tianhe River was directly pulled out by Xiao Yan. After that, Tungtian seemed to have lost its power and became quiet. It's up to you to be honest. Xiao Yan immediately smiled when he saw Tungtian calm down. Immediately, Xiao Yan stared at the palm-sized dark red liquid on the palm of his hand. This is impressively the Tungtian Emperor Qi at the top of Tianhe River. Next, I hope I can make a smooth breakthrough. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, without stopping, he directly swallowed the dark red liquid in his hand. Gulu gulu! The Emperor Tungtian had just been swallowed by Xiao Yan, and suddenly an extremely hot feeling spread throughout Xiao Yan's body. What a splendid power, but you forgot that I have holy flame. The next moment, Xiao Yan realized that this heaven-reaching Emperor Qi contained extremely violent power, but for Xiao Yan, who possessed holy flame and emperor flame, not a big deal. At that time, the mysterious and most intense dark red Emperor Qi, which was feared by everyone in the Fenxiang Pavilion, was actually attacked by Xiao Yan's soul. At this time, Xiao Yan was also constantly absorbing it, and his power continued to grow stronger. Ask for tickets. 3 today and 5 tomorrow. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 709. Xiao Yan and the other two teams entered the cultivation cave for a few days. On the 5th day, most of the time, in the highest standard conference room of Fenxiang Pavilion, it was not open. It was only opened when there was a crisis or important event. At this time, it was already full of people. The leader was Xiao Yan's master, Zhu Jin. Zhu Jin sat in the first place with a heavy face, without any other emotions. As for Zhu Jin, lined up in turn, are Qing Lao, the deputy head of the Heavenly Palace, Ling Mingsheng, the head of the Earth Palace, Shang Yuan, the deputy head of the Earth Palace, and Mu Shuji, the deputy head of the People's Palace. Chang Yu, this meeting seems to be a little urgent. What happened? Seeing that everyone was ready, Chang Yu opened his mouth slightly, because the atmosphere here was so quiet that it made one shudder. Wait, there are two more. Following Chang Yu's voice, Zhu Jin also spoke softly. When Chang Yu heard the words, there was no other voice. After all, Chang Yu is mainly in charge of the outer cabinet, so he is not very clear about the affairs in the cabinet. Hee, old man Zhu, now you know us? After a while, a slightly dissatisfied voice came from the crack of the door. When everyone heard the words, they looked up and saw that the two men, a man and a woman, were obviously of some age. Obviously, it would not be an exaggeration to use the wind and the waning years. Tian Lao, Di Lao, why are you here? Just after seeing these two voices, Qing Lao suddenly cried out in his heart, it was broken. The two elders in this world are a husband and wife. They have lived in their burning incense pavilion for many years. Every time the sect is in difficulty, they will spare no effort to take action. However, these two have a deep relationship with Zhu Lao. Qing Lao remembered that when Zhu Jin was young, he had been relying on his name as the #1 Dou formation master in Xuanxin Santian to travel across nearly half of the Dou D continent. During his travels, he also offended the two old people in heaven and earth because of some misunderstandings. However, after so many years, the misunderstanding at the beginning seems to have not been resolved, resulting in the current relationship between the three of them. Xiao Qinger, you don't need to worry about this matter, it's a matter between us and him. The old man said with a hint of anger. The two elders of heaven and earth are older than the elder Qing regardless of their strength or age, so it is not surprising to be called Xiao Qinger. Okay, everyone has arrived, let's start. Seeing the two of them coming, Zhu Jin suddenly got up slightly and said to the people. At this time, the Heavenly Palace, the Earth Palace and the Human Palace have gathered here. Adding the two, I am afraid this can be regarded as the middle force of the burning incense pavilion. Zhu Jin, What did the old man ask you? Don't think about fooling me. Tell me clearly what happened back then. Tian Lao is the man among the two elders of heaven and earth, and he is also the most powerful. As for the specific strength, even the deputy hall master of the Tiandian temple is not very clear, but he only remembers this. The strength of the two elders of heaven and earth has already entered the Juxing Zhouzhan duty for many years. Old man, let's put our personal affairs aside for now. There should be some big business in this meeting. We'll talk about our affairs later. The old woman said slowly to Tian Lao. Humph. Tian Lao heard the words, snorted coldly, and sat down immediately. As for Di Lao, he continued to stay with Tian Lao. I already said that it was a misunderstanding when you were there. You have been holding on to me for so many years. If you are not tired, I will be tired. Zhu Jin's eyes were filled with a hint of helplessness, and she shook her head at the two elders of heaven and earth. He knew that if the matter was not made clear today, I am afraid that these two would not take action. If Yan Kai Ruishan was rescued by two 9-star Do Emperor-level powerhouses, the odds of winning would undoubtedly be much lower. You fart. It was you back then. If you hadn't trapped us with the strength of the Do Formation Master, would our two daughters be lost? The two of us have only had such a daughter in our lives, and now it's been more than 30 years since we lost it. I don't know if she is still in the world. You old man, I will never let you go in my life. When Tian Lao heard this, he suddenly burst into foul language. I pay attention to your affairs. If I find it, I will notify you as soon as possible. But that's not what this meeting was held today. The next moment, Elder Zhu suddenly burst out with aura. The words have already come to this point, and there is no point in talking about it. Half immortal. Tian Lao was a little angry at first, but when Zhu Lao released his power, Tian Lao also became serious. It's really not Zhu Jin's fault that happened back then, but the pain of losing her daughter can't be easily resolved. Sit down, let's get down to business. Seeing that the mood of the two elders in heaven and earth had stabilized, Zhu Jin opened his mouth slightly. Everyone here today is the high-level executives of the Fenxiang Pavilion, so I will not gossip. The purpose of this meeting is for Yan Kai. Zhu Jin's soft voice was like magic, shaking everyone's heart. His grandma's. It should have been done a long time ago. After hearing the words, the Hall Master of the Earth Palace suddenly stood up and burst out in foul language. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U, Kai 8, approximately 1 ZS. Koem. The reason why the Hall Master of the Earth Palace said this is unspeakable. Back then, when the Lord of the Earth Palace was a cabinet disciple of the Burning Incense Pavilion, he met his lover, Zan Mukching, and thus rubbed the spark of love, and gave birth to a daughter named Lingtong. After a few years, I gave birth to a daughter, but this time, when I gave birth to my second daughter, I happened to meet Ling Mingsheng going out, so I didn't come back, but at that time, I gave birth and happened to be in Xuanling City. According to what Ling Mingsheng learned later, after his lover gave birth to two daughters, Ling Xuan, he died of exhaustion. Even when Ling Mingsheng came back, his bones were cold, and Ling Mingsheng still didn't believe it. But after that, Ling Mingsheng discovered that the reason why his lover died because of exhaustion of productivity must have a great relationship with the people of the Xuanling royal family, so for so many years, Ling Mingsheng has been enduring. If it wasn't for his two daughters, he would have gone to the Xuanling royal family to ask for an explanation. Mingsheng, pay attention to your emotions. We also thought it was very strange at the beginning, but after all, in Xuanling City, we know very little, so. Tian Lao on the side saw Ling Mingsheng's emotions. Out of control, a gentle force of life and death immediately swept away. Thank you, Tian Lao. Ray Mengsheng heard the words, and the violent emotions in his body suddenly became quiet. You still need to take a long-term view on this matter. But I believe that Mrs. Ling will definitely stay in this world. The old man also comforted. I hope. When Reimu heard this, he was also looking forward to it. Because of Reimu Sheng's knowledge of his lover, it seemed that the corpse was not his lover's, so after so many years, Reimu Sheng still refused to give up. Mingsheng, you are very strange. When we rescue Yanqi this time, our entire burning incense pavilion will help you find it. Seeing this, Zhu Jin also said, Next, let's get down to business. What do you guys think about saving Yanqi? After Zhu Jin finished speaking, he looked at the senior executives present. Ask for tickets. 5 more today. The first chapter of this book was published on the 26th of October 2017, and today is also the first anniversary, end of this chapter.